Good morning, everyone. Shubhra, good morning. Saurabh, Gargi, everyone, good morning, beta. Good morning. Suchi, good morning. Dhruv, good morning. We wait for a couple of minutes, okay? Let everyone come. I can see 72 attendees. Then we'll start today's session. Today we are going to cover physiography and drainage pattern. Shubham, good morning. Arshia, good morning. Tushar, good morning, beta. Good morning, everyone. Good morning everyone. तक्षक संडे को क्यों रखा है बेटा? You don't have enough time now. Okay, it's very important. संडे को क्यों रखा है क्लास? तक्षक, today also you're not worried about your admissions and all, बच्चा? Okay, now it has crossed 100 participants, so I would like to start. Okay, so today we are going to cover physiography and drainage. Now the question arises that why we take physiography and drainage together. See, always remember drainage means river system, the flow of water. Okay, the water, how it drains, how it flows in one particular direction. For that, it is very, very important that you should know physiography. When you understand physiography, when you understand the slope of the land, type of landforms, relief and all, based on that, we will understand the drainage pattern, that is a river system of that particular nation. Okay, and that's why first we are going to focus on the physiography of Brazil and India, and then we are going to understand the drainage pattern, that is river system of India and Brazil. Now, from this chapter, you will find so many objective type questions can be asked. So you have to pay attention over here. So whatever the questions you are having, you can put it in chat. Okay, whatever what you want to ask, you can put in chat. Definitely, I will answer you. Okay. Now, first we are going to focus on India. So you can see on screen this map. It shows you different tints of colors, different shades of colors, which is going to help you to understand that what type of physiographic division or which physical divisions we are having in India. Okay. Now, when we see the heart of the map, which we call it as a legend, key, or index of the map, from that also you will come to know that what does this tints of colors indicate. So India is divided into majorly 5 divisions. Now here in index you will find that Thar Desert in Great Indian Desert is given separate, but actually it is a part of North Indian plains, because desert area is also a low-lying area. So North Indian plains is considered as a low-lying area. So desert is considered together as a part of this North Indian plains. Now, first division which we are having, that is mountainous region. This is a northern mountainous region. This is North Indian plain, green color, and desert is also included in this. North Indian plains, followed by the largest division. Remember, listen to me carefully. It is the largest division of India, which we call it as a peninsular plateau. Okay, this is a peninsular plateau. And here you will find in dark green on both the sides, it's a western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. So these are our major 5 divisions. Now, which things you have to remember when you are just giving your CET? Okay, major things which you have to understand. I will let you know. Okay, so the first physical division which you are going to see over here, that is a physical division of India. Okay, here I'll open my annotate. Takshak, already I have sent MCQ of first that lecture, which I have asked. If you check your group, no, it is already there. And I'm going to send MCQ questions for this chapter also. But you have to understand that all various basic concepts of this chapter, otherwise it will become difficult for you to answer MCQ questions. If little change or little question is twisted, it will be difficult for you. Now, when it comes to physical division of India, you have to keep in mind that mountainous region is divided into direction wise, it is divided into 3 parts. This particular part is known as a Western Himalayas, Sikkim is known as Central Himalayas, and Arunachal as a Eastern Himalayas. Okay. Now, if we just see the ranges, see, Himalayas are not one single mountain range. Various mountain ranges are there. Now, for that, no, you have to remember that this particular foothills is known as Shivalik. Then we are having a Lesser Himalayas, Greater Himalayas, and finally we are having a Trans Himalayas. So parallel ranges are there, and Shivalik range. This particular range is known as a Shivalik range, and Shivalik range is considered as the youngest, that is a young fold mountains or youngest range, which is towards the southern part of Western Himalayas, and it is considered as a foothills of Himalayas also, followed by Lesser Himalayas, which is also known as Himachal. Okay, Greater Himalayas are known as Himadri. These are the different names possibility they may ask you in MCQ, and these are known as the Trans Himalayas, which we call it as 8,000ers also. All more than 8,000 meters height of mountainous ranges and peaks you will find in Trans Himalayas. Even the highest peak of India, okay, which we call it as a K2, it is also located in this particular part. Its height is 8681 meters. Prince, you are asking me to repeat again. Please do come on time, bacha. Okay, see here you will find that Himalayas, according to the direction beta, it is divided into three parts, that is Western Himalayas, Central Himalayas and Eastern Himalayas. And as you all know that Himalayas are not one single mountain range, there are parallel of ranges are there. So you will find that towards the foothills of the Himalayas, which we call it as the youngest fold mountains, they are known as Shivalik, followed by lesser Himalayas, which we call it Himachal, then greater Himalayas, which is known as Himadri, and finally we are having Trans Himalayas, where you will find all mountain ranges having a height of more than 8,000 meters. And highest peak of India, K2, is also located in this particular area, and its height is 8681 meters. Okay, so this is what the important part which you have to understand related to Himalayas. Okay, now when we will come to the next division, that is North Indian Plain. Now North Indian Plain, no, it is divided into two parts by the Aravallis. See here we are having a location of Aravallis. Now towards the east of Aravallis we are having one slope, and this is the west of Aravallis. Slope is over here. Now according to the slope, okay, it is divided into Ganga plains. This is known as a Ganga plain. Okay, and the second thing which is towards the western side, according to the slope of the land, this is known as Western Plain or Punjab Plain, or we can say Punjab Plain. Okay, so it is divided into two parts, divided by Aravallis, towards the east, towards west. Eastern side we are having Ganga plains, slope towards east, and this particular land where we cover Punjab, Haryana, Delhi ridge and Thar desert. Okay, this particular area which we call it as a Punjab plain or Western plain, it is having a slope towards western side. Okay, so Ganga plain is divided into two parts. Now, when we talk about the Thar Desert, which is also considered as a part of North Indian Plain, it is also known as Great Indian Desert. Okay. Second thing is Thar Desert, and the third name is Marusthali. Okay. So three names which you have to remember about the desert is Great Indian Desert, Thar Desert, and Marusthali. These are the three names you have to keep in mind. Okay. So this is what you have to remember. Now this particular North Indian plain includes Thar Desert, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi Ridge, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, okay, West Bengal, and some part of Jharkhand also. A little part of Jharkhand and Assam. Assam also we don't have complete Assam. Remember one thing. See the boundary of Assam is over here. So this particular part of Assam is in Himalayas. Okay, and southern part, central and southern part is in North Indian Plain. Northern part is a part of Himalayas, and that's why instead of calling it as a Arunachal Himalayas, it is known as Assam Himalayas. So Eastern Himalayas are known as Assam Himalayas because northern part of Assam is also a part of Eastern Himalayas. So that is one thing. We will come to the largest division, which we call it as the largest division of India, that is a Peninsula Plateau. Now this Peninsula Plateau, okay, it is considered as an important part of India. As we know, it is the largest division. Plus you will find there is a Deccan Plateau. Over here there is a Deccan Plateau which includes Karnataka, okay, Maharashtra Plateau, Karnataka Plateau, Kerala, okay, some part of Kerala, then Tamil Nadu, some part of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So this is our Deccan Plateau, and this is known as a central peninsular area. Okay, central highland also we call it. So this is central highland, and overall we call it as a peninsula plateau, as I told you in the first lecture, because it is surrounded by water on three sides. We call it as a peninsula plateau. Now, here you will come to know as the formation. Madhya Pradesh, no, Kshitij, Madhya Pradesh does not come in Deccan Plateau, but in Peninsula Plateau, Madhya Pradesh is a part of Peninsula Plateau. Okay, Peninsula Plateau is divided into two parts, Deccan Plateau and Central Highland. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind that this whole part is known as Peninsula Plateau only. Okay, but it is divided into two parts. Towards the south, it is a Deccan Plateau, and the central part is known as a Central Highland. Okay, so it is divided. So Madhya Pradesh comes under Central Highland. So this is our oldest and the largest division of India. Okay, next we are going to see that is a coastal region. You can see the coastal region, you will find it starts from Gujarat over here. Okay, and it is extended western coastal region, which is towards Arabian. It is extended till Kanyakumari over here. Okay, and eastern coastal region you will find right from here, that is border of, or we can say the Odisha and West Bengal border from there till Kanyakumari. So western coastal region and eastern coastal region, they converge at Kanyakumari. So this, now when we talk about the western and eastern coastal region, so there are some differences, major differences which you have to keep in mind. That is western coastal region, no, they are not that narrow compared to, sorry, broad, width is not that broad compared to the eastern coastal region, because eastern coastal region, even if you see in this map, it is more broader compared to the western coastal region. Okay. Second thing, western coastal region, here deltas are not formed. Reason is rocky coast is there, rivers are very short in length, and swift rivers are there. Whereas here you will find in the eastern coastal region, deltas are formed by the rivers. Reason is that gentle slopes are there, so rivers flow gently. Plus, you will find that these rivers are very long in length, and that's why here you will find that you will find that uh, deltas are formed. Okay, then sediments are deposited, fertile soil is there, cultivable land you will find it is in huge amount. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind, that is very very important. Okay, so this is the western coastal region is not having uh, formation or the nature of forming deltas. Here you will find estuaries are formed, here you will find deltas are formed. Western coastal region, rivers are very short and swift. Here, rivers are having gentle slope and they are very long in length. And here, deltas are formed, and that's why you will find that fertile, that land is found on the coastal region. Okay, that is before they meet Bay of Bengal, you will find that fertile land is formed over here. So these are the major divisions which you have to keep in mind related to your MCQs and all. Okay. Now, next, the last division is group of islands. Everyone knows that we are having two group of islands. Jui Joshi is asking what is estuary. Estuary is a point, okay, and a depression very close to coastal region where you will find the river water and sea water. They come together and it get accumulated in that depression. Small depressions are there, okay, and when the waves come or the high tides are there, that water is added into that, even the rainy water is added. Sometimes the volume of the river also increases, which is very close to coastal region, like Narmada is there, Tapi is there. So that water is also added. So when river water and oceanic or any sea water, saline water, they mix and that get accumulated in the depression near the coastal region, that is known as estuaries. Okay, so this estuaries are formed over here, your deltas are formed. That much you have to remember related to your MCQs and all. Lakshadweep is, it is very close to landmass, that is mainland. Okay, mainland Lakshadweep is very close, whereas Andaman Nicobar you will find it is far from the mainland. Andaman Nicobar formation took place due to the volcanic eruption. Andaman is separate group of islands and Nicobar is separate group of islands. Okay, now here in Lakshadweep you will find coastal, that islands are also there, and you will find even atoll, the small group of small islands, it makes one group, it seems to be like a ring. and it is surrounded by corals. So those atolls are also found in Lakshadweep. Coral reefs are there, atolls are there. In Nicobar, you will find atolls, but Andaman, you will find submerged mountains are there. So these are the differences which you will notice related to the division, or we can say physiography of India. Okay, so major you have to remember 5 divisions are there. Northern mountainous region, which we call it as a Himalayas. Low-lying land, North Indian plains, which includes desert. Largest division of India, that is Peninsular Plateau. 2 coastal region, okay, Western coastal region and Eastern coastal region. And finally, group of islands, islands in Arabian Sea, islands in Bay of Bengal. So this is our physical division. Now we are going to understand the physical divisions of Brazil. Okay. Now when we talk about Brazil, when we compare about Brazil and India, I would like to show you the screen. Okay. The Eastern Himalayas are also divided into 3 parallel ranges, right? Yes, but it is not a part of curriculum beta. Only Eastern Himalayas we are having, which is known as Assam Himalayas, and it is extended towards the Arunachal Pradesh. Only that much you have to remember for your CET. Okay, Jui? Now, here you will find, see, here also we are having 5 divisions. India, Brazil also we are having 5 divisions. See, if we see the difference, we in India we are having Himalayas, that is huge mountain ranges. But in Brazil you will find highlands are there. Elevated part is there, but not like Himalayas or mountains or huge ranges and all. Okay, you will find elevation, average elevation of highlands in Brazil is only 1000 meters, whereas in India you will find average height is 8000 meters. Okay, and you will find certain peaks and heights which are more than 8000 meters. Highlands, here you will find average height, listen clearly, 1000 meters. So we don't have any mountainous region in Brazil. We don't have huge peaks or huge mountains over here. Remember one thing. Okay. Second thing, you will find plain areas in Brazil. India is also having. Okay. Second thing, Brazil is not having peninsular area, a land which is surrounded by water by 3 sides. Okay, that is missing. So what is not there in Brazil? Okay, differences if you notice. So you will find that huge mountainous regions are not there. Peninsular region is not there. Otherwise, you will find that mostly common divisions you will find. Only one physical division which is added over here, it is Great Escarpment, which I'm going to explain you with the help of map. Okay. So these are the five divisions. Both are having 5 divisions, physical divisions, India also and Brazil also. So now we are going to see Brazil. Okay. Now, if we talk about Brazil, the first division, which is there over here, we will find that is highlands. Highlands are divided into 2 parts. One is towards north, which we call it as a Guyana highlands, and second is towards south, which we call it as a Brazilian highland. Now, Brazilian highland, it is also known as Brazilian shield and Brazilian plateau also. There are 3 names. How Thar Desert we call it with different names. Same way, there are MCQ questions where they may ask you that highlands towards south are known as what, or they will give you options. What are the 3 names we use to call the southern highlands in Brazil? So that is Brazilian highland, Brazilian shield, and Brazilian plateau. So you will find that Guyana highlands, it is located in north, and Brazilian highland, it is located in south. Now index itself will help you to understand that maximum, okay, or we can say the average highland of Brazil is average height, okay, of Brazil is only 1000 meters. Okay. Now Guyana highlands, we call it as there are, we can say that highlands are there towards the north. Now this Guyana highlands, keep in mind, very little part is there in Brazil. Okay, you will find it is only in some part in Amapá, okay, and Roraima and Amapá you will find over here, and very little part, not in whole 2 states. only little part towards the extreme northern part above equator. Okay, very little part. Major part of Guyana Highlands you will find in the neighboring countries like Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. Here you will find that Guyana Highland is extended towards the northern neighboring countries. Very little part is in Brazil. So this is the first division. Okay, Guyana Highlands and Brazilian Highlands, they are the most elevated areas. Okay, Gayatri, you can write your doubt in chat beta. Rather than raising hand, bacha, you can write it over here. I will answer your question. Okay. Now, here you will find that highlands towards north and highlands towards south are there. In between, you will find, when we see the shades, okay, the shades are going to help you to understand the height, okay, average height of that particular region. Okay. So you will find, see the brown shade is there, yellow shade is there. Here you will find little that yellowish, greenish, yellowish part you can see over here. And that indicates that very little part of highland in north we are having. Next division after Guyana Highland, we are having coastal region. Okay, we will see the coastal region. As you know that India, we were having two divisions. Same way we are having two divisions in Brazil also. Now here Brazil, but you have to keep in mind that Brazil, it is divided into two parts according to the extension. See, right from Amapá till your Caatinga, okay, you will find this particular part is known as a northern coastal region. And right from Caatinga till the end of the southern part, it is known as eastern coastal region. Students, they make mistake, they write southern coastal region because South Atlantic Ocean is located over here. No, here we are having northern coastal region and here we are having eastern coastal region. So coastal region is divided into two parts according to the extension. Okay, right from Amapá. Miss, what is the southern point known as? Kshitij in southern point, it is known as a pampas. Okay, pampas, which is a low-lying land. Okay, and it is not having major elevation, but this covers very small part. Okay, southern part. We don't have like India, that is southernmost tip of India, how we call it as a Indira point. Here we have regions, southernmost region of Brazil, that is Pampas. Okay, Kshitij. Now, next thing you will find that here it is divided into two parts. Now, what is the nature? In northern coastal region, you will find Marajo Islands are there, Marajo Bay is there, São Marcos Bay. See, these two bays are there. This is island, depositional island is there. Okay. Second thing, here you will find that many coastal rivers, they come and they meet Atlantic Ocean in the eastern coastal region. Okay, and as you all know that eastern coastal region and northern coastal region, okay, if we compare this both, eastern coastal region is more populated compared to the this northern coastal region. What you are saying which isn't in the textbook, is it there in the PDF that you will send? What is not there, Kshitij? It is a southernmost region of Brazil. You are asking what is a southern point known as? Southern point, we don't have any such southern point, beta. I didn't understand, Kshitij. What clearly, please mention, write it clearly, I will answer you. Yes, key points which I am saying, beta. Yes, because there are, yeah, which are not, see, these are the things which we have to understand with the help of map, beta. Physical map is given, which you have to understand. And it is related to, they have not given everything in detail, but they may ask you with the help of map. Because below map and above map, you will see on page number 14 and 15. They have given certain questions. Those questions, yes, it is having. Yes, I'm going to send the MCQs. In that you will find all these questions, Kshitij. Okay, so here you will find that these are the two divisions. Okay, coastal region is divided, and it is there, Kshitij, if you see the physical division of Brazil, it is written that coastal region is divided into two parts, and the southernmost region of Brazil is Pampas. With the help of map, you should know it. Okay, so don't worry. Now, next division, if we'll see, that is a plain area. If you see the plain area, you will come to know, see dark green color. Plain area means low-lying area. So it is Amazon River Basin and Paraguay Parana River Basin. So here you will find that this is a low-lying area which is having a slope towards the eastern side. So this particular region, which covers a major western part, western and northwestern part of Brazil, it is the Amazon River Basin, which we call it as a low-lying area. And here you will find Paraguay Parana. This is a second part, okay, low-lying area. And in this low-lying area, you will find there is a swampy area, which is considered as one of the wettest region, largest wettest region, okay. Caatinga, it is also a low-lying area, Vedant, but very small part. You will see that, see, it is having a very small region. It is extended right from western part, Vedant, and see it is extended till here. And even in Pampas, if you see the southernmost region, that is also a very little region. Major part is over here is Amazon River Basin. Caatinga, full Caatinga is not a low-lying area, only this particular part, okay. It is a low-lying area. Otherwise, highland is located. See, you can see that elevation part. Highlands are also connected with the small low-lying areas. See, low-lying areas on the coastal region you will find, but it is again connected to the highlands with them. Okay. So Amazon River. So we can't say that Caatinga full is a low-lying area, because you will find Caatinga covers highland also and low-lying area. And that's why in low-lying area, plain area, we are not describing Caatinga. So here Amazon River Basin is there, which is one of the low-lying area. Okay. And here Paraguay Parana region. Paraguay Parana, you will come to know that here the swampy land, wetland is there, which we call it as a Pantanal. Okay. Which covers the Mato Grosso do Sul, part of Mato Grosso do Sul state. So that you have to remember. Now, next division after the plain area, coastal region. Okay, if we just see over here, we are having islands also, and even we are having a very important region, that is Great Escarpment. Now, as you all have studied in contours, escarpment means a region or an elevated part which is having a height, or that means slope on elevated part, which is having a slope, steep slope on one side and gentle slope on other side. Okay, so here you will find that this particular part, this particular part is covered by escarpment, Great Escarpment. Great Escarpment, though it covers a very small area, okay, it is considered as an important physical region of Brazil. The reason is because it is having a big impact on climatic condition in Brazil. The height of escarpment is 790, average height 790 meters. Okay. Now, here if we'll just talk about this Great Escarpment, what climatic impact you will see. You can see in this diagram. Okay. As you know that this is escarpment area extended till here. Okay, here. Now, when southeast trade winds enter in Brazil, it is blocked by escarpment, elevated part, 790 meters height is over here. When it is blocked by this particular escarpment region, what happens? Orographic type of rainfall takes place over here. But when this southeast trade winds cross this escarpment, and when it starts moving towards the northern part, so leeward area is developed, that is a low-lying area, rain shadow region is developed over here, which is known as drought quadrilateral. So as you see that because of this particular region, only a very small region, Great Escarpment, you will see a major that landform is formed, or we can say major that change in the climatic condition is noticed over here. That's why it is considered as one of the major physical division of Brazil. So this particular diagram will help you that how this escarpment plays important role in the change in the climatic region in this particular area of Brazil. So that is one thing. Now, after Great Escarpment, I would like to take the coastal region. Now, coastal region, if you see, see, we are having two coastal region, as I told you over here. So you have to remember one more thing related to the coastal region, that the coastal islands we are having, marine islands we are having, and you will find that islands which are formed due to the deposition of the sediments brought by the Amazon River. That formation also takes place over here. So I hope everyone understood 5 physical divisions of Brazil. We have taken highlands, that is Guyana highlands and Brazilian highland, great escarpment, which plays a very important role in the climatic condition, coastal region, which is divided into 2 parts, northern coastal region, eastern coastal region, plains again divided into 3 parts, that is Amazon River Basin, Paraguay Parana River Basin, and Pantanal. And islands, you will find here also islands, we are having 2 types of islands mostly, coastal islands and marine islands. You will find coral islands with atolls and all. Atolls, I told you that small islands when it makes a group and it forms like a ring, and where you will find corals over there, they are known as atolls. So you will find coastal islands, marine islands, and even coral reefs in Brazil. So these are our major 2 physical divisions of India and Brazil. Okay. Now, next thing which I am going to take is, see, this map will be, it is given on page number 14, physical division. Here also you will see that with the help of this legend or key, you will come to know that different shades, different tints of colors are used to know the elevation. Now, if we just go a rough thing, okay, about this particular region. So here you will find that Himalayas are there, where highest peak of India, K2, is located over here, which you will find over here, that K2 is over here, okay, which is having a height of 8681 meters, okay. That is one thing which is given over here. You will find Shivalik range is there, your Pir Panjal range is there, okay. Then lesser Himalayas, greater Himalayas, and this is a trans Himalayas, okay. Now here Great Indian Desert, and you will find this light green color and dark green color. It's a low-lying area, and this North Indian Plains, okay, it is having a slope towards eastern side. That you have to keep in mind. Next thing, if we'll just move towards the central part, so you'll find this is Aravallis, and towards the east of Aravallis, you will find that other plateaus are there, like Bundelkhand is there, Bakhelkhand is there, Malwa Plateau is there, Marwad Plateau is there. These are the 4 plateaus. And obviously, we are having a Ruhr of minerals, okay, that is a storehouse of minerals, that is Chota Nagpur Plateau, which is located over here. Then if we'll move towards the southern part, Vindhyas over here, Satpuras over here, okay. Here you will find Sahyadris are there, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats are there. In between you will find the plateau, that is a Deccan Plateau formed by four to five states over here. And here you will not find that full states are not covered as a Deccan Plateau, but that is western part of those states become a part of the Deccan Plateau. Here you will find, okay, see Karnataka Plateau, Maharashtra Plateau, this you can see over here. Here again you will find that hilly region is there, where we are having Nilgiri Hills, okay, Anaimudi, Annamalai, that is located over here, which is considered as a convergent point of Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats also, okay. So this is a convergent point over here. And here in the eastern side, this is the central Himalayas, this is eastern Himalayas, okay. And eastern Himalayas, in between you will find this is a plain area covered by the central and southern part of Assam, okay. Here you will find Tripura is there. Here Sundarbans are formed, one of the swampy land in India, okay, that you have to keep in mind. And latitudinal line passing through India, that is Tropic of Cancer. If we talk about in Andaman and Nicobar, everyone knows the barren island. The only active island is located in Andaman. Nicobar, you will find atoll islands, southernmost tip of India, that is Indira Point, and meeting point of Western and Eastern Ghats, which is Kanyakumari over here in the southernmost tip of Peninsular Plateau. Lakshadweep, which is very close to mainland India. Second thing you have to remember, that this particular coastal region, Kerala, it is known as Malabar Coast. Tamil Nadu is known as Coromandel Coast, which is given over here in map. So, which is given in map, all these points you have to remember, see, for MCQ test and all. Okay, so this is one thing. Now we will move to the next part. Okay, see, this I wanted to show you. This is location of the Aravalli range. This is Thar Desert, and you will find that Indus River, the flow of Indus River, and the main tributary of Indus is Satluj River. So we are going to do the drainage pattern because I was having this map, so I thought that if you want to understand the location of Aravallis, that you can understand with the help of this map. See, Aravalli is the location of Aravallis. This is your Peninsular Plateau. Okay, this is your Peninsular Plateau. This dark green color you will find is a low-lying area. This is your desert. Okay, and see, Vindhyas are over here. Rajmahal Hills are there. Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, and Bharmar, which we call it as a Mahadev Maikal range and all. See, it is extended. Bundelkhand, Bakil, Near that you will find small ranges are there, which you will find over here. Now we will do the drainage pattern. Drainage pattern of Brazil first we are going to see. Now your drainage pattern of Brazil is again divided into 4 parts. Now it is divided into 4 parts, which you have to remember. First thing is Amazon River Basin. Okay. Second is Paraguay Parana River Basin. Third is Sao Francisco River Basin. And the fourth is coastal rivers. So it is divided into 4 parts. If we talk about the Amazon River Basin, source and mouth, when we study, remember one thing, MCQ questions mostly when they ask based on rivers. So you have to remember 4 things. One is source of river, mouth of river, direction, okay, that in which direction it is flowing, then tributaries. These 4 things you should know. And finally, 5th point is that in from which particular state or country or region it is flowing. So when we talk about river system drainage pattern, these are the 5 areas which we have to keep in mind when we talk about the river system. Okay, so that is one thing. Now, when we talk about the first Amazon River Basin, what is the source of River Amazon? It is from Peru, neighboring country Peru. And in Peru, we are having the Andes mountain ranges. So here, from the eastern slope of the Andes mountain ranges, Amazon River collects its water and it starts flowing towards the eastern side. So this is the flow of Amazon River. So the source is what? Andes mountain in Peru, and mouth is North Atlantic Ocean. So 2 things we got. In which direction it flows? It flows from west to east. Okay. Third thing, okay, that is source, mouth, direction. After that, you should know the tributaries of Amazon. If you'll see the tributaries, okay, you will find that major tributaries, which over here we'll find that is Zurukwa, the Madira, okay, Purus, Jurua, Japura, and Negro. These are the even Branco, it meets Negro, and then it comes and join Amazon River. Even Paru, which comes from the north, it is having a slope towards south, it meets Amazon, and then Amazon meets over here in North Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Very important feature which they may ask you in MCQ is that Amazon River forms no delta. Okay. Okay, it forms no delta. Okay, no distributaries, no delta. Though it is such a large river, because it is having a huge volume of water. Okay, and it flows with a high discharge. Okay, that is 2 lakh cubic meter per second. That is a discharge of that Amazon River. That discharge, it is not depositing any sediments before it meets North Atlantic Ocean, but Amazon River takes sediments, and these sediments get deposited in oceanic body, which turns into a series of deposited islands. So Amazon River, they forms series of depositional islands, and no deltas are formed by Amazon River. So these are the things which you have to keep in mind about the Amazon River basin. Source in Peru, Andes Mountain, eastern slopes. Mouth, North Atlantic Ocean. It flows in eastern direction, that is from west to east. Its tributaries are Juruca, Madeira, Puru, okay, Jurua, Japura, Negro, Branco, and Paru, okay. And please be careful that Xingu is not a tributary of Amazon. Your students, they always make mistake. They take Xingu as a tributary. Xingu is having its independent flow, and it meets North Atlantic Ocean near Marajo Island. Okay, so this is about the Amazon River basin. Now, when we talk about the Paraguay Parana, okay, Paraguay Parana River basin, it is having a source at highland. What is the source of Paraguay Parana highland? Paraguay Parana rivers source is at highland, and its mouth is at Argentina. Okay, it enters in Argentina, which becomes a catchment area for River Plata in Argentina, and even Uruguay, which becomes a part of this particular river. See, Kanishka, both these spellings are correct. Xningu and Znigu, both are correct. It's a proper noun. So in map you will find Z, in a description you will find X. So both are correct. Okay, how we are having a difference in Kaveri River, Cavery and Kaveri. Same way here also Xingu you can write X also and Z also. Okay, beta. Now, here in Paraguay Parana River basin, source is highland, mouth is Argentina, and this rivers, even you will find that Uruguay also enters in the southern part of Brazil, and all these rivers together, that is Paraguay, Parana, and Uruguay, it becomes a catchment area for Plata River in Argentina. Okay, no tributaries are given over here. If we talk about the slope, its slope is towards south. Okay. Third is Sao Francisco. Again, Sao Francisco, it is having a source in Eastern Highland. That is Eastern Highland. You have to specify this. Eastern Highland. And then it starts flowing towards north first for 1000 kilometer. Then according to the slope, it takes a sharp turn towards eastern side and meets Atlantic Ocean. Here also we don't have any such tributaries, major tributaries, but it is considered as a third important river of Brazil. Okay, so till 1000 kilometer it goes in north direction, then it takes a sharp turn towards eastern side, and then it meets Atlantic Ocean. Okay, this is the third one. Fourth is coastal rivers. You will find coastal rivers are also very important because here we are having a huge settlement in the coastal region, and these settlements, they feel or they are having important significance of this coastal rivers in their life, because here urbanization is there, industrialization is there, settlement of people is also high, so this coastal rivers plays very important role over here. Now, Itapecuru and Parnaíba, it meets North Atlantic Ocean, and you will find few coastal rivers, okay, including Uraguaco, Jequitinhonha, and here near the escarpment, they meet South Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so this is what we have to remember. Always related to river system, when we are preparing for CT, you have to remember only those points which I told you. Source, mouth, direction, tributaries, if there are few rivers in Brazil, no, that we can say that tributaries are given, like Paraguay, Parana, Sao Francisco. Major, it is given only about the Amazon. And lastly, if it is possible, you should know the region, which direction wise or state wise you have to remember. Otherwise, nothing else. Okay. After this, we are going to move the major river system, that is India. I think here you have to pay attention because it's a vast concept related to river in India. Now, to understand properly, okay, about the river system in India, because students, they always see so many rivers, so many tributaries and all. You have to divide these rivers into two parts. Okay, one, group of rivers. Okay, this particular part. Okay, this particular part is known as a rivers originating from Himalayas. Okay, we have divided into two parts. Rivers originating from Himalayas, and here we are having rivers originating from Peninsula Plateau. Very easy to remember and understand the river system in a very short period. Okay. Now, Himalayan rivers, we are having three rivers. One is Indus, okay. Second is Ganga, and the third one is Brahmaputra. Okay, one by one, we are going to see this. Okay, that is a Brahmaputra. Now, when we talk about the source, mouth, and all, remember we will first see. First, we are going to see about the Indus. Indus is having a source in Tibet. Source is Lake Mansarovar. Okay, Lake Mansarovar and Lake Rakas. Actually, both are together over here. So the source is Lake Mansarovar. Okay, it enters from Tibet. Tibet Mansarovar, and mouth is Arabian Sea. Okay, now it is having flow in which direction? From Tibet, that is from Lake Mansarovar. It flows towards western side. Okay, Kshitij, Mansarovar over here. See, Mansarovar is not a small lake. In Tibet, you will find that the source of Indus, we call it as a Mansarovar. If you see in textbook also. See this Lake Rakas and Lake Mansarovar. Somewhere it is extended that water bodies over here. You will find. Okay. So we say that source is in Tibet, Kshitij. Okay. If you'll see in description which is given. Okay. Lake Rakas and Lake Mansarovar. It is somewhere together. You will find one, we can say embankment is there between that, or one elevated, that natural thing is there which separates, but Lake Rakas and Mansarovar is there. Okay, now here you will find, because seeing this map you are saying, Kshitij, am I correct, beta? Okay, actually, yeah, miss, because in the picture I haven't seen any distributory. Distributory, Kshitij, of what distributory you want? It's a lake. How lake can be distributary, beta? I'm talking about, see the picture, it is given in blue color, lake. They have given a small symbol. Here you will find this particular part, you will find small depressions and lakes you will find over here. Somewhere it is extended. It is not that small area covered by the Lake Mansarovar. It is actually extended till here. Okay. So the source is Mansarovar. Okay. River originating from a river called it's a lake originating from a river. Lake is separate, river is separate, beta. Lake is what? One depression, okay, where water get accumulated over there. Lakes don't have distributaries, beta. I'm not talking that lake is having distributary. What is a river originating from a lake called? It is a source of that particular river. Source means this particular lake. Okay, symbol of source. See here it is mountainous region and it is a completely area covered by ice, snow throughout the year. So here continuously water get accumulated in this depression, and you will find it becomes a source for Indus River. Kshitij, Indus is having a source over here in Tibet near Lake Mansarovar. Okay, and it enters in Jammu and Kashmir. It flows towards western side in Jammu and Kashmir, India, and then it starts flowing in Pakistan. Okay, and from Pakistan it meets Arabian Sea. So source is in Tibet, Lake Mansarovar. Mouth is Arabian Sea. Okay, it flows in Tibet, India, and Pakistan, and its main tributary is Satluj. Now Satluj is also having a source over here in Tibet, and it flows and it meets Indus over here. And other tributaries are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Shyok, Chenab. These are the tributaries of Indus. Okay. Second river which we are going to take is Ganga. Ganga is having a source at Gangotri. This is a source, and mouth is Bay of Bengal. Okay. Now, main tributary of Ganga is Yamuna. Main tributary. This is what? See, Yamuna, it originates from Yamunotri and it meets Ganga at Allahabad. It meets Ganga at Allahabad. Another correct beta. In Tibet, near Lake Mansarovar is the origin. That we call it as a source. Okay. Tibet near Mansarovar. That is the source of river Indus. Source mouth you have to remember beta. Okay. Now, Ganga is having a source at Gangotri and its mouth is Bay of Bengal. Main tributary is Yamuna, which meets Ganga at Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Other tributaries are Gomti, Sharda, Ghagar, Rapti, Gandak, Kosi. All these are other tributaries. Okay. And this river flows right from Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and some part of Jharkhand, then West Bengal, and it meets Bay of Bengal. One flow goes in Bangladesh. One flow of Ganga goes in Bangladesh. Now, there are few tributaries, okay, which you will find originates in Peninsular Plateau, like Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, and Kain. They meet Yamuna and then Yamuna meets Ganga. So actually these four rivers, which we call it as a tributary of Yamuna, they are tributary of Ganga also, because these four channels, okay, these four tributaries, they meet first Yamuna and then they meet Ganga. Even Son, which originates in Peninsular Plateau, it meets Ganga and it is considered as a tributary of Ganga also. Okay, now next thing, Brahmaputra. Now Brahmaputra also originates. Source of Brahmaputra is Lake Rakas. Okay, again in Tibet. Okay, Lake Rakas. When Brahmaputra, mouth of Ganga is Bay of Bengal. See, it originates from Gangotri, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, and then it meets over, and one flow goes in Bangladesh. Okay, mouth is Bay of Bengal. It forms Ganga Brahmaputra delta over here when it meets Brahmaputra in Bangladesh, and Sundarbans, one of the largest delta, is formed over here, and then it meets Bay of Bengal. Now, when we talk about Brahmaputra, Brahmaputra ka source, where it is again in Tibet only, Lake Rakas. It flows in Tibet. That time it is known as River Sangpo. It is not called Brahmaputra. It is known as Sangpo. As it enters in Arunachal Pradesh, it is known as Dihang. And when it comes in Assam, it is known as Brahmaputra. From Assam, it goes in Bangladesh, meets Ganga, which we call it as a Meghna. It forms major Ganga Brahmaputra delta, and then its mouth is Bay of Bengal. So source is in Tibet near Lake Rakas, and mouth is Bay of Bengal. It flows in Tibet, it enters in Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and then it goes in Bangladesh. Okay, its tributaries are Tista, Manas, Subansiri, and here we are having Lohit, one that tributary, Lohit. So four tributaries of Brahmaputra. Different names are given to this river in different region. So if they ask you in MCQ that Brahmaputra is known as dash when it flows in Tibet, so Sangpo. When it flows in Arunachal Pradesh, Dihang. When it flows in Assam, it's a Brahmaputra. Remember this thing. Source is in Tibet, Lake Rakas. Mouth is Bay of Bengal. Okay, so here we finish with the Himalayan rivers. Now we will come to the peninsular rivers. Okay, these are the peninsular rivers are also divided into two parts. That is rivers flowing towards west and rivers flowing towards east. Okay, now first we will focus on rivers origin, that is meeting eastern part, that is having a flow towards east, that is mouth is Bay of Bengal. Okay, first we will take Mahanadi. Mahanadi is having a source in Chhattisgarh. See here they don't have any given any source, but the region which it covers, it is having a source at Chhattisgarh. So source of Mahanadi is Chhattisgarh and its mouth is Bay of Bengal. Okay, and Mahanadi, that specifically no tributaries are given of Mahanadi. Second river, Godavari. Godavari is having a source at Trambakeshwar. Okay, mouth is Bay of Bengal, and its tributaries are Pranhita, Indravati, and Manjra. Pranhita, Indravati, Manjra. These are the tributaries of Godavari. Source is Trambakeshwar and mouth is Bay of Bengal. Third river, east flowing river is Krishna. Source is Bhima Shankar. Okay, that is Mahabaleshwar also. From Mahabaleshwar or Bhima Shankar and Mahabaleshwar, you will find over here. Okay, see Mahabaleshwar, from here also one flows comes and meet Krishna over here and Bhima Shankar over here, which is a main source of Krishna river, and mouth is Bay of Bengal. Two major tributaries of Krishna. It is asked many times in MCQs. That is Tungabhadra and Bhima. Bhima and Tungabhadra are two tributaries of Krishna. Source Bhima Shankar, mouth Bay of Bengal. Tributaries are Bhima and Tungabhadra. Next river is Kaveri. Kaveri is having a source at Brahmagiri and mouth is Bay of Bengal. No tributaries are given over. So these are your west flowing rivers. Now east flowing rivers. East flowing rivers which meets Arabian Sea. But here some differences you will find that they don't meet directly Arabian Sea. Okay. You will find Luni River. It is having source at Aravali's. Luni River is having source at Aravali and it flows towards Run of Kutch. Its mouth is Run of Kutch. Sabarmati, here its source you will find in the mountainous region. Okay, that is a ranges, and you will find certain ranges and certain mountainous region over here, which you will find are formed over here near Aravallis and all. So their source is over here. Okay, in this particular plateau region and some elevated part, and it flows towards Arabian Sea, but it meets Run of Kutch. Mahi also meets Run of Kutch. Narbada also meets Run of Kutch. And Tapi also meets Arabian Sea. So the mouth you have to remember, Luni is having source from Aravali's, meets Run of Kutch. Sabarmati, Mahi, Narbada meets Run of Khambhat. Tapi meets Arabian Sea. Source of Narbada is Amarkantak and source of Tapi is Multai. These are all east flowing rivers which flows towards west flowing rivers which meets Arabian Sea. So the west flowing river is Luni, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narbada and Tapi. Okay, so that is one. Even you will find that Periyar, extreme south, this also meets Arabian Sea. Periyar, extreme south. Why most of the river mouth is Bay of Bengal? Because slope of Deccan Plateau is towards eastern side. Slope of Deccan Plateau is towards eastern side. That's why maximum rivers you will find in peninsular region is east flowing meeting Bay of Bengal plains. Okay, got it? So this is what we are having about the river system. Again, I'm repeating, when you prepare for your MCQs and you are studying your river system, source, mouth, tributaries may not be given for all rivers. Okay, then which direction it is flowing and in which area it is flowing. These 5 things you have to remember. Source, mouth and tributaries are more important. That is very, very important. And in this preparation for this, I think major tributaries, if we'll see now, if we talk about this particular region, so you will have to remember about Krishna, that is Bhima and Tungabhadra. Godavari, it is Manjra, Pranhita, Indravati. Okay, and if we talk about Ganga, okay, its main tributary is Yamuna. Indus main tributary is Satluj. Brahmaputra, you have to remember 3 names in different regions. And Ganga and Brahmaputra together, they form a major, that is the largest, one of the largest delta in the world, that is Ganga Brahmaputra delta. These are the things which you have to keep in mind when you study. Okay, now we will move to the MCQ question. In between, if you have any doubt related to physical divisions of India and Brazil and river system of India and Brazil, you can put your questions in chat. I will answer. Okay. Which mountain is considered as one of the young fold mountains in the world? That is Himalayas. Okay, Himalayas. What is the southernmost range of Himalayas? Southernmost is Shivalik, which we call it as a foothills. Correct, Shubham. What are the North Indian plains located? North Indian plains. It is located between Himalayas and Peninsula. We talk about the location of North Indian plains. So towards north we are having Himalayas and towards south we are having Peninsula. Where are the Ganga plains located? Ganga plains lie to the east of the Aravalli. Okay, as I told you that North Indian plains is divided into two parts. Okay, one towards the eastern side Ganga plains and western side we are, yes, east of the Aravallis. Okay, that is Punjab plain or western plain. What constitutes the delta of Ganga Brahmaputra delta? West Bengal state and Bangladesh. As I showed you just now, West Bengal and Bangladesh, they form together or constitute delta of Ganga Brahmaputra delta, one of the largest delta in the world. What are Sundarbans? Okay, Sundarbans are delta region or one of the swampy wetland of India. Okay, it's a delta region of Ganga Brahmaputra system, which we call it as a Sundarbans, and it is extended from West Bengal to Bangladesh. What is the length of the coastline? Yes, this I just missed it. So India is having 7,500 kilometer approx, and Brazil is having 7,400. Brazil is 7,400. India is having 7,500 kilometers. Okay. Why do the rivers originating from Western Ghats, they form estuaries? Because rivers are short and swift. Because rivers are short and swift. What are the islands located in the Arabian Sea called? They are known as Lakshadweep Islands. Okay. What are the islands located in the Bay of Bengal called? It is Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay. Now, only active volcano in India, I told you it's a barren island which is located in Andaman. Okay. It is located in Andaman. Highest peak in Brazil. Yes, this I wanted to show you. Highest peak in Brazil, and location also you should know. Okay. See, this is highest peak in Brazil. See over here, Pico de Neblina. It is located on the border of Venezuela and Brazil. It is not in Brazil or not in neighboring country. It is on the border of Venezuela and Brazil. And its height is 3014 meters. In MCQ, they may ask you. See, K2, highest peak of India, it is 8681 meters. And Brazil, it is 3014 meters. Okay, that is a Pico de Neblina. Okay, and it is located on the border of Venezuela and Brazil. So that is one thing. So Brazil is Pico de Neblina and India is K2. Clear, everyone? So that is one thing which you have to keep in mind. Okay. Now, next question after Pico de Neblina. Highest peak, yes. What act as a barrier to the southeast trade winds? So as I told you, which plays a very important role in climatic condition, which gives rise to rain shadow area in the northeastern part. That is a great escarpment. Okay. Yes, Shubham, great escarpment, correct. Coastal island located between mouth of river Amazon and river Tocantins, that is Marajo Island. Okay, Marajo Island. I will show you in map also. See here. This is river Amazon. This is river Tocantins, and in between there is a Marajo Island. So island located between Amazon and Tocantins. That is Marajo Island. What is the length of the Jui? 7,400 kilometers, beta. 7,400 kilometers. Coastline of Brazil. India is 7,500. Okay. So that is one thing. Marajo Island you will find between river Amazon and river Tocantins. Okay. What are the most of the Amazon plains covered with? It is covered with tropical rainforest, Amazon plain area. What is Pantanal located, or where is Pantanal located? As I told you, it is in the Mato Grosso do Sul, northwestern part of Brazil. Mato Grosso do Sul. And then it is extended in the neighboring country, Argentina. Pantanal. Broad quadrilateral region. This is a rain shadow region which is formed due to the trade winds. Okay, that is a rain shadow region, broad quadrilateral region, which is formed due to great escarpment. Okay, what is the Brazilian coast characterized by? So if you see the what features you'll find that beautiful beaches are there and sand dune complexes are there in Brazilian coast. Okay, what protects the Brazilian coast? As I told you, there also coral reefs are there, atoll islands are there. So Brazilian coast is protected by coral reefs and atoll islands. Okay. Next is what is Pantanal? Pantanal is swampy area. As I told you, when water get locked over there, accumulated over there, you will find it is one of the largest wetland in the world. One of the largest wetland in the world. And as I told you, Pantanal is located in the northwestern part of Mato Grosso do Sul. Now, from where does Amazon collect its headwater, which we call it as a source of Amazon River? So, eastern slopes of the Andes Mountain in Peru. Okay. So, what is the source of Amazon? Eastern slopes of the Andes Mountains in Peru, and mouth is North Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Now, where does the river São Francisco flow? It flows for 1,000 meters towards north, as I told you. Okay. Then in Brazilian plateau, then it takes a sharp eastward turn. Okay, and it meets Atlantic Ocean. Which rivers meet North Atlantic Ocean? As I told you, coastal rivers. These are coastal rivers. River Paraniba and River Itapecuru. This meets North Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Now, which two river systems are covered under the Himalayan drainage system? Okay. So, in Himalayan drainage system, we are having two. That is Indus and Ganga. Okay. Brahmaputra, it is in Tibet. So, when we talk about our country, two river systems which covered Himalayan drainage system, and that is a Indus and Ganga. What are Kayals? And do you know it is given? What are Kayals? Which you find it is a local name in Kerala. Okay. So the coastal rivers in Kerala. Okay. Kayals are a local word. Okay. Coastal rivers in Kerala, when they extend, they have a long extending backwaters. Okay. Near their mouth, they are known as Kayals. Actually, in short, backwaters in Kerala are known as Kayals in local language. Okay. Three major river basins of Brazil. Okay, as I told you, Amazon basin, Paraguay-Parana system, and São Francisco. Okay, Shubham, correct, beta. So these are the three major river basins of Brazil: Amazon basin, Paraguay-Parana, and São Francisco. What is the approximate discharge of Amazon? As I told you when I was explaining, it's a 2 lakh cubic meter per second. 2 lakh cubic meter per second is the discharge of Amazon River. Now, what is the location of Paraguay-Parana? Southwestern part of Brazil. Paraguay-Parana, southwestern part. Okay. Third important river, São Francisco. Indian rivers are classified into two parts, as I told you, rivers originating from Himalayas and rivers originating from peninsular region. So we call it as a Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. So these are the classifications of Indian rivers. What name the major tributary of river Ganga? Yamuna is a main tributary. Okay, major tributary, or we can say the main tributary of Ganga, Yamuna. And Yamuna originates at Yamunotri, and it is a major tributary of Ganga. Okay. Now, from where do Himalayas extend? Yes, this is very important thing which I missed out. So I will explain you with the help of map, extension of Himalayas in the map of India. Okay. So here in the eastern part of Tajikistan, I will show you. See, this is the eastern part of Tajikistan. From here, it is a place known as a Pamir Note. So now, one thing know in MCQ, this question is mostly asked. Extension of Himalayas in Asian continent. Remember one thing. If it is specified, yes, that extension of Himalayas in the Asian continent, then it is in Tajikistan, eastern part of Tajikistan, which we call it as a Pamir Note, and from there it is extended towards the eastern side. But when I say extension of Himalayas in India, okay, then it is Jammu and Kashmir, that from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. Be careful. It is from Jammu and Kashmir till Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, these two things are in MCQ, they may ask you. So be careful, read question properly. They are asking answer that in Asia extension of Himalayas or extension of Himalayas in India. Be careful about it. So that is one thing. Okay. Now we will move to the next question. Okay. So this is the extension. That is in extension in Asia and extension in India. Both the things you have to keep in mind. Okay. So Pamir Note that we have seen extension in Tajikistan to the east. Now, which physical division lies between Himalayas and Peninsula? Obviously, North Indian Plain. See, if you see location wise, so on the northernmost, it's Himalayas, then North Indian Plain, then Peninsular Plateau, towards west Thar Desert, on both the side coastal region, western and eastern, and then two islands. So this way we are having a location. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Okay, which physical division forms the core of the South American continent? That is highlands. What are the core of South American continent? So both highlands, Brazilian highland and Guyana highlands. They are considered as a core of South American continent. Guyana highland covers which states of Brazil? So as I told you, Roraima, Para and Amapá. Not full states, huh? Only the northern part of the states. Roraima, Para and Amapá. Okay, Roraima, Para and Amapá. Now, because of which physical division is the eastern side of Brazilian highlands are demarcated? Okay, eastern side of the Brazilian highlands demarcated means the boundary is made or it is separated. It is, oh yes, Shubham, it's a great escarpment. Okay, which is the largest plain land of Brazil? Largest plain land of Brazil. Amazon plain is the largest plain, which covers, I think, maximum, mostly I must say the half of the Brazil is covered by Amazon. Okay, western side and northwestern side. On which coast of India deltas are formed? Eastern coast. Western coast we don't have any deltas. Yes, one more thing. In Brazil, there are not a single west flowing rivers you will find. No west flowing rivers are found in Brazil. Reason is because of elevation towards the western side. And as I told you, there are in the neighboring countries like Peru, there are Andes mountain ranges and all. And there are major elevations found towards the western side. So we don't have any west flowing rivers in Brazil. Keep in mind this thing. We don't have a single west flowing rivers in Brazil. If you observe map also, you will come to know. See, I will show you the map. If you see the map, nicely this time they have given a map with the arrows. See, if you observe all these rivers, you will find either arrows are showing towards north, east or towards south, but not a single river or tributary showing arrow towards western side. So this is your western side. Okay. So you will not find a single. The reason they may ask you in CET. So when you read question MCQ in CET, be careful what they are asking and for which particular country they are asking. Very, very important. So if the reasons are given, okay, that west flowing rivers are not found in Brazil, so they will give you option. So you can write, Miss, what about Uruguay? Uruguay is going in southwest better. It is not going in western. Western part of Brazil is this better, which is the western part of Brazil. So if you see this particular part is a western part, okay, and from here we just take it as a southern part. This is a western part. Where do you find? Do you find any river moving towards Jitesh, moving or flowing towards west beta? Not a single river is showing arrow towards western part. This is a proper western part. Okay. So you will not find any west flowing rivers in Brazil. That is the very important point in Brazil. See here also you will find arrows which are shown over here. It is either towards the eastern side and this tributary is moving towards the north, or here Uruguay, Parana, Paraguay, it is moving towards south better. But here this is the western area of Brazil. You will not find any west flowing rivers over here. So that is a major thing. Vedant, reason is elevated. See, always remember one thing. Rivers are having their flow according to the slope of the land, Vedant. Okay. If western side is elevated, okay, and as you know in Peru, there is a ranges of mountains, okay, Andes mountains, fold mountains are there, okay, and you will find this fold mountains are extended not only in Peru, but in the neighboring other western countries also. And due to the elevation, you will find that slope, they are not getting slope towards west. So main reason is slope of the land bit, Vedant. If slope is towards west, then obviously water is also going to slope toward there. But there is a no, you will find slope is towards eastern side. Okay, elevation part is more towards the western side, and that's why you don't have any west flowing rivers in Brazil. Okay, any doubt, any question, you can ask me now. So a quick recall which particular maps, see you have to refer in your textbook or for MCQs. You all should know all 5 divisions according to the location, directions and all main features. Here also you should know. And one more thing, that which particular area, equator and Tropic of Capricorn passes in Brazil and Tropic of Cancer passes in India. Okay, which particular physical divisions it covers. You should know that also. Okay. Next thing, when you should know there are five divisions. So which are those 5 divisions? Okay. And in MCQ they may ask you, said which particular physical features are not found in Brazil. Okay, so Himalayas are not there, and you will find peninsula is not there. And in India, you will not find Great Escarpment. Okay, so that is a main difference between the physical divisions between India and Brazil. Next, you will find related to river. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. When you are revising rivers, okay, drainage pattern, you have to remember source, mouth, main tributaries and tributaries, that area or region or country where it flows, and if possible, you should know that which particular main tributary. Now, suppose for few rivers only they are given, like Ganga, it's Yamuna. For Indus, it's Satluj. Okay, Krishna, Bhima, and Tungabhadra, according to your curriculum. So you have to see only that much. Okay, focus on that. Source and mouth, definitely you should know the source and mouth of the rivers. And you should know which are Himalayan rivers and which are peninsular rivers. So Himalayan rivers are only 3. That is Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Peninsular rivers, again it is divided into east flowing and west flowing. So which are moving towards the western side and eastern side. Western side meets Arabian Sea, eastern side meets Bay of Bengal. So this way you are going to prepare. will be easy for you to recall and revise it. Okay, any doubt, any question, you can ask me. I'm coming back. Okay. Students, any question, beta? Any doubt? Basic thing I told you, for CET you have to prepare, and I'm going to share your PDF also with you all. Don't worry. Okay, I will share all MCQ questions which I taught you, explained you today. So that I'm going to share with you. Okay. Any other question? Students? Okay, thank you, Shubham. Thank you, beta. Tanishka, Ingale, and all. Okay. Nice to see you all over here. And congratulations to all ICSC students also. Yesterday you got your result. God bless you all. Okay, thank you. So I will end this meet and see you for next meet. Next meet, we will see that which topic we will cover. Okay. Bye everyone and God bless you all. Bye Dhruv. Rajapta everyone. Thank you so much. So here, Jitesh, thank you, Sanika. Can you send yesterday's recording? Okay, recording also you want. Recording will be with Sadanand sir. Definitely, I will tell him to send it to you. Okay, beta. Sanika, don't worry. Bye, everyone.